Hi there, my name is Raviteja Renangi and welcome to HackerZ Biology Overloaded. Thanks for joining me today. Together, we'll learn about Linux operating system. I'm sure that you will enjoy learning Linux. Coming into the topic, before learning Linux, you should have a doubt that why I should learn Linux instead of Windows. Because Windows is being used in our day-to-day lives. So why Linux? That's even my question when I started to learn Linux. There are many answers for this. To understand what is Linux, you should know what is Linux, right? So that's a complicated answer, but let's get simplified. Linux is a core software which is required to communicate all the hardwares which is present in our computer and then allocate the available resources, that is hardware resources, to the software which is running on that core, which is called as kernel. So while talking about the Linux, people usually talk about the operating systems which is built upon the kernel, that is Linux operating systems. So there are many flavors of it called as distributions or for short distros. This is a brief introduction of Linux. Let's talk about why Linux, why I have to learn Linux and why I have to use Linux instead of using Windows, right? So first thing, licensing. Let's suppose you bought a new computer and want to install OS on that computer which is purchased new. And you have to buy even Windows, which costs around 7 to 8,000. But if you want to install a Linux OS, there's a different perspective and you don't have to pay anything. Just download the flavor of Linux, install it, and you're good to go. Second thing is, it's more secure. In our day-to-day life, we come across with all the ransomwares, viruses from the internet, adwares and all those bloatware things. These viruses will not work on Linux as they do on Windows. Or if you want to make your computer more secure, you have to install antivirus software which you have to purchase again, spending around 2,000 to 3,000 bucks. But Linux is not like that. Linux is secure by default. This is a way far secure than Windows OS. I am not telling you that it's the most secure one, but the most secure than Windows. And we don't have any antivirus software for that. But there is a couple of softwares which can be used to remove all the threats or scan the threats present in our computer. So most probably that's not necessary for us. The third thing, customization. If you want to install any theme in Windows, you have to first patch your Windows with UX theme patch installer and all those stuff, and then you have to install third-party themes. But the third-party themes just overlay your icons and themes with the custom colors. That's it. If you want to customize your icons, your themes and everything about Windows, you cannot do that and you don't have authorization to do that. Linux is not like that. It has different desktop environments, say as KDE, LFC, XFCE, Unity, GNOME, all those stuff, so which you can interchangeably use without changing the OS itself. And the fourth most important thing is drivers. Even older systems can work better with Linux, but the specifications for Windows 10 has been increased. You need a Pentium processor, which is 64-bit, 1 gigs of RAM. That's not in the case of Linux. So you can use a very old computer and you can run Linux on it seamlessly, but not as like Windows. The fifth and foremost important thing is reliability. Some of you have come across with blue screen of death, so please restart your PC. So this will not happen anywhere in Linux. You don't have to reboot the system to install or uninstall a particular program on a computer. And the sixth thing is software updates. You have authorization to update the required ones which you want from the updates list. That's not in the case of Windows. If Windows starts an update, you have to wait until the update has been done. This is not in the case of Linux. You can seamlessly work even though the system is being updated. The seventh and fourth most important thing for the programmers or server admins. Linux perfectly suits for programmers because most of the libraries in the programming languages like Python, Android has been natively written for Linux, and that will be ported to macOS or Windows. And SSH is natively supported by Linux, which is used by the server admins to check and analyze the server remotely. If you want to rock in IT field, a depth understanding of Linux is very essential. It is also helpful if you want to choose ethical hacking or cyber security as a career. The installation procedure of Linux is discussed in a later session. Hope you enjoyed the video. For more updates, subscribe to our channel. Thank you. See you in the next tutorial. Till then, take care.